on here. So, but how are you today, sir?
Oh, good, good. I'm in Oregon at the beach
Oh, nice.
with the family for the 4th, so just
Oh, very
chilling.
cool. Very cool.
See if I get this down here a little bit.
Okay, share, copy link. I just tagged you in a Facebook post.
Okay.
So if you want to share it on yours, I mean, it's going to pop up on your end anyways, but it's the live link for people to not join with us, but to see it. And we are live, baby. And then I'll go ahead and throw that in the group chat, and then we're good to go.
Perfect. Just shared it.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, I know that I'm sure you've done this a few times since the announcement and all the people that you know, everyone knows that's coming and stuff. But what's going on, Scott, in the chat, Scott West? But I know that there's been some changes, some updates, some stuff. So I wanted to kind of go over that kind of stuff, basic info, just because the 2-week mark just kind of hit us. I think time is just flying, and before we know it, it's going to be here at our feet. So still July 15th, July 14th is weigh-ins that night, correct?
Yep, Friday night. I believe we have it set for like 6 to 8 at the venue.
Okay, cool.
Post Hotel, the DoubleTree.
Okay, cool. And then as far as the day of tournament weigh-ins, what time is tournament supposed to kind of kick off?
I believe, put me on the spot. I believe weigh-ins are from 9 to 11, and then we'll probably kick off between 11 and noon.
Okay.
Right in there. Just depends on how long it takes them to get these brackets done.
For sure. Kind of still up in the air for how many people to expect at this point, huh?
Yeah, it's always up in the air. You put it out there, you put it on the Facebooks, you share it, you make an event page. Obviously, to make this event page is for people to say, I'm either going or I'm not.
Right.
And it's always 50-50. You're going to get those guys that just show up and like, oh, man, didn't know you were going to be here.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that. I had just made you were in attendance, but I just did this Battle of the Margaritas maybe a month or so ago, and same thing. I had athletes that were competing in the event that didn't even go to the Facebook and say that they're going.
Right.
So,
right.
You just never know. But interesting. So looks like the format's going to be amateur and open. And then 155, 176, 198, 220, 242, 242 plus, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And then I think you've shed a little bit of light on it, but as far as kind of the newer format, as far as kind of it being the finals being a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can run that through. So amateurs, nothing's changed. Masters, women's, nothing changes on that end. For the pros, this is where it changes. So what we're doing is, I'll say the 154 class. It's all pro classes left and right hand. So I'll just say 154. There's going to be 2 brackets. You're going to have 54 here and 154 here.
Okay.
Okay. You run all the way to a champion in those brackets. Those champions will then face each other in the finals, best 2 out of 3 super match on pay-per-view that night.
Very cool. Very sweet.
So depending on where, it's kind of like we're going to try to do seeding with Aries and seed it right. But
right.
Obviously with these international guys coming, you can't really fully do that.
Right.
Because they don't really have a ranking.
Yeah.
But we're going to do the best we can to make sure it's split evenly. That way you're going to get the right guys at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Now, question for you. I know there's going to be a lot of people that kind of fall in like this middle area where maybe they want to pull both amateur and they want to dip their toes in pro. And one of the most important things in a tournament is kind of the layout of how it's going to work. So are you going to run all amateur classes and then run all pro classes, or are you going to intermix them as we're going just based off of weight, I guess?
So what we've done in the past is we've ran, and I don't know truly how we're going to do it yet. I still got to run this by the team. But normally we'll run Left hand amateurs straight to a champion, right hand straight to a champion, masters and women straight to a champion, and then we'll run the pros.
Right. I think I remember that last year for sure.
And then that way, usually we stop after the women's or amateur or the masters, however we work that, and we take like a little break and we give people chance to say, oh, John, you just blew through your class. You had no competition, but you forgot to sign up for the pros.
Yeah.
That's where you can sign up now.
Dude, I think that's so huge, and I appreciate that so much because not only that, but I remember being a fan last year of how many big names were in the building, and remembering that all my arm wrestling was done, and now I can just be a fan and I can just watch this crazy pro class take place in front of me. And that's exactly what it was. I mean, all my adrenaline was gone from competing, and I got it because I was just an amateur at the time, but oh my gosh, yeah, last year, dude, if I could get anybody to get that wasn't there last year to get through their heads just how intense it was last year and how even bigger this year will be.
Yeah, gotta be. I mean, I thought last year, I thought to myself, how could I even make it bigger?
Right.
And, like, I don't even know. Like, it was just so much fun, and with the pay-per-view, it being in a different place, that was cool, something different. And then this year, just slowly, like, it started off real slow. Like, we didn't know when we were gonna do it. We were supposed to do this in April, and all these dates came about, and then everybody in the world's a promoter nowadays. And people always say, well, what's it matter if I'm putting on an event in Louisiana? I said, it doesn't. I said, but there's certain guys that I like at my event where it doesn't matter where it's at in this whole world. If they can't be there, I'm moving my date for a certain reason.
Right.
And so that's why it's not about being on the same day or whatever. It's about who I want at my event.
Yes.
And so it was challenging. And then when I finally solidified this date, obviously some date, tournaments came after, a weekend of whatever, but it was the best for who I wanted to be at my event.
And I truly think there's something to bringing those big, I don't want to say crowds necessarily, but like a multitude of these big names coming from, like you said, and we'll get into this, but Australia, Latvia, from all over Mexico, from all over the world, and the killers from there. And the fact that that's just going to entice. I'm telling these people that are just in our local community, like, if anybody ever wanted the chance and thought here on the west side of the states that they had a chance to crack a Sandris or always wanted to pull a Coach Ray, like, they're going to travel to AZ State because this is their opportunity to do so. So even the nobodies that are really good are going to be crickly crackling coming out of the woodworks.
I mean, it was like last year, a lot of people were like, oh man, like, these guys are pulling a super match at nighttime, so they're not going to pull the tournament. Yeah, we get to hang out with them, but we don't get to pull them. So like this year, I'm like, well, how can I change that? Like, and that's where we came up with this format where you still have super matches, but you have to fight now to get to that super match. So you're going to get a guy, say yourself, that you get on a good side of the bracket and somebody gets tired and you blow through that. And then all of a sudden you have a super match with Coach Ray.
Yeah.
Holy shit. When's the next opportunity you could ever have that?
Seriously.
And then you crack him, and then what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where I try to support other organizations. I push for my local guys to get recognized. And the only way to do that is to bring in high-level people. And then if you can get a win on them, you're going to get recognized. There's no difference how I didn't help get Adam Rosinski to East versus West. I got Artem to East versus West. I got Jody to Arm Wars. The list goes on because it's who you bring in that it's who's involved with those people.
You're right.
When I bring in Uncle John, he's a new staff member on my team. It costs a lot of money to have him.
Yeah.
But he's going to recognize people that's going to get somebody to Arm Wars. I guarantee you somebody from Arizona State will end up in Arm Wars because of Uncle John, and someone's going to surprise him, and he's going to get on the phone with Neil and be, yo, Neil, you got to have this guy. Like, this guy just did this at Arizona State. Neil's going to go, let me check out the footage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Here's your contract. Let's go.
And speaking of which, I mean, we have a few of those opportunities. I mean, one that we can get into right off the bat would definitely be Hunter Knopf's, the number one 155er. Is I've even DM'd him, and he seems like he's planning on coming to AZ State.
Yep.
And me and you know, but a lot of people don't know about Joseph Williams and the potential that he holds and the things that he can do. And I think even if he stops Hunter, not even beats Hunter, but just gives him a hard time, that alone puts you on the map for someone as stout as Hunter. So there's a lot of those opportunities. You're definitely right. And Arizona's no slouch. I think we've got a lot of guys that could surprise some people. One of the things that was on my list, and obviously Jake just asked the question, the arm wrestling world found out a week or so ago that Mr. Omlin's Giannis, the Jedi, injured himself. I don't know the details to it. Maybe he shared some with you, but I can almost guarantee he's probably not going to be pulling at Arizona State because of that right hand.
Yeah, see, I haven't been told the full details yet. I got to get on a call with him.
Yeah.
And figure out where he stands. Obviously, if he pulls out of a caliber like East versus West, he's not going to be pulling at Arizona State.
Right.
But I can tell you, if it's not too serious, and I don't know, I'm sure he will pull left-handed.
Oh yeah. I almost anticipate that. I mean, I remember seeing him last year against in matches against like Ole left-handed, and I was just like, dude, you're so blessed to watch this.
Right. So I mean, yeah, he'll be there, and another thing that people don't really understand why I bring these guys over as well. It's not aside from the tournament and everything else. It's to pick their brain. Pull them over on the side table, and they'll teach you anything you want to know. They're that type of people. I don't bring over stingy people who are like, I'm here for the tournament, and I'm going to go back to the hotel, but we're not talking. Like, no, these guys want to like teach you and stuff, and it's no different than like we do like a bunch of after pulling, and they'll sit on the table for hours and just teach you. I mean, if anybody was at Arizona State last year, they know him and Corey Miller had a war.
Yeah,
and then he got on the table for 2 hours afterwards, just hanging out and pulling whoever wanted to pull.
I'll never forget the moment after Paul Passmore lost his match to, I believe it was Robbie Topi.
Yep.
And he comes down the stairs, and I was one of the very first people he saw at the stairs. And I had never said a word to this man. And he just comes over to me and we had like an hour-long conversation of just like everything. And I just remember sitting there thinking, I was like, this man is a refrigerator. He's so big. And he's probably the most humble human being I've ever met in my entire life, the most down-to-earth person. So you're right. It's besides the arm wrestling, this community builds when you do bring those type of people, which we obviously appreciate. Sounds like Mario Tombakis from Australia has confirmed that he's coming.
Yep. He will. Just got off the phone with him a little bit because I've been dealing with getting Artem back to the United States for a long time. I've been on a lot of phone calls and a lot of things, but he's almost to Houston, so that's a blessing. Just got off the phone with Mario. Yes, Mario will be in Arizona on 1 week from today. He lands on Monday. He's coming for like 8 days. So
cool.
we're gonna probably go somewhere on Tuesday to like maybe a surprise practice, even though the tournament's on Saturday. We might just go out to someone's house and just do some light band work and mess around, pick people's brains stuff.
Obviously not Ryan, he's got his hands full, but anybody else traveling with him that we know of, or is it just him?
It's just him. Carpenter was supposed to come and it didn't work out, so it's just him. But it's the next one. Not to get off topic, but Washington State's December 9th.
Yeah,
we know that. He's coming back with. He's telling me like 4 to 5 guys.
Nice.
They're supposed to bring a guy for every weight class on that one, and it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna do like a big team event, and so it's gonna be you're gonna bring a team of 5 or 6 guys, and there'll be some good cash payouts for that.
Did you get the chance to watch the AWE2 matches?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I
For
loved it.
anyone that didn't, Ryan Bowen just released them on his YouTube, so you can go over there and check them out now for free.
Yeah, great matches, great announcing. Um, it was nice. I hope I'm at the number 3. We'll say that. I'm pretty sure I will be, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be that much better in my opinion.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Only a few more questions. I mean, we covered like the potential, some of the potentials. Where is it that everybody can catch the live stream at for Arizona State? Is it going to be Arm Wrestling TV again?
No, so all day long. It's going to be solidified this week.
Okay.
But it should be on ArmSports Entertainment's YouTube all day long, and then the pay-per-view. It should be able to release that this week. But I can tell you, there is a special guest coming, and you're going to want to be there too if you're a super heavyweight.
Oh.
We're setting up the pay-per-view, and it's going to be very nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling, and I just got a tingle in my.
Yeah.
Are you obviously probably the question you get more than anything at your events? Are you pulling? Are you reffing? What are you doing, my man? Are you just promoting?
I'm just promoting. I have a super match July 29th that I'm focused on right now, and I don't really like reffing my own events.
Yeah.
I bring in top tier referees for a reason. If people know, I'm not shy on my staff. I bring in the best.
Yeah.
My opinion. So you'll have Corey Miller and my wife on the brackets, 2 of the best there is.
Right.
I got Nathan Williamson coming. He's a advanced senior referee. You yourself, Lewis Horath. I got.
Is Lukey P coming?
Yes. Yep. I got Bill Onifray and Pat from St. Louis. And I got, I don't know why I can't think of it. Oh, the guy from Lafayette is flying in as well on Monday.
Yes.
He's the head ref for East versus West. And then I got one more guy from California, and I don't know why I'm putting a blank on that right now.
Stacked referee card, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, I just saw Leonard Harkless post about Nathan Williamson. I had never heard of him prior and then started following him. So
yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
So it's gonna be pretty good. We got Robert Kelly and Artem doing the live stream.
Oh, dope.
So they will be there. We got Uncle John flying in to be the MC for it all.
Nice.
What else? We got Sarah Latona, who's the PR for ArmSports Entertainment. She'll be walking around taking live videos all day long, interviews, pictures, all that.
Do you know if she's competing?
I believe she is. Yes.
Interesting, because I know she's big time here on the side of the West. She's not bad at all. I mean, it's tough as far as how many ladies are in those smaller weight classes and who would show up. But
Jason Latona is also going to be one of the MCs with Uncle John, and he is pulling as well.
Nice.
The last person would be Jody Chocolate Thunder. He will be there. He will be MCing and pulling himself.
That's your boy. That's your boy. Do you know what weight class Uncle John will be in?
Oh,
heavies or 242s?
I would say 242s.
Okay.
220.
And then, obviously, are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. It's been a long time, long process, and we still have a lot of things left to do. We got these sick medals this year. Nobody's seen anything like it.
Nice.
They're the official medal maker for Mr. Olympia. These things are 6-inch medals. They're like they're massive.
Dude, last year's medals were still my favorite ones that I've seen yet.
Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome. We of course we make all of our shirts ourselves, so those all just got ordered, and we have to be doing those when we get home. Well, my wife gets home on Thursday. I don't get home till Sunday because I'm heading to Dallas to referee the first event for the World Series of Arm Wrestling.
Oh, nice.
So I get home on Sunday, and we have 4 days to make all this stuff. So
World Series of Arm Wrestling.
Yep, Greg Sharp. The first one's in Dallas, and then I think It goes New York, Roy, Utah, or no, excuse me, Riverside, California, Roy, Utah,
Wow.
qualifiers, and then the finals are in November 11th in San Diego.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah, $1,500 for first place, left and right hand.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just any advice that you have for maybe some amateur pullers, anybody in their first tournament, maybe pros that are going to be seeing people they've never seen before, just anything that you want to give to any of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, just show up and have fun and just learn. It's such a great opportunity to just pick someone's brain. Like all these guys that are coming, they're not bothered to talk to anybody. They're not like, oh, I'm busy. You know, it's like they'll talk to anybody. They're going to be staying at the hotel from Thursday to Monday. They'll hang out with everybody, pull with everybody, talk with everybody, pick their brains. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Pull smart, have fun. Pull as many classes as you think you can get to get the most experience. I mean, if you're one of those guys that been pretty dominant on the amateur and it's a big state event, still pull your amateur, but pull the pros maybe. So you test yourself. You're never gonna advance unless you test yourself in the waters of a deep class or something. You know, it's you could be a good pro local, but how are you with a big tournament? You know what I mean? So test yourself. You know, don't say, I know I can't win this class, so I'm not going to pull today. Like you're not going to get far doing that. Like, what's the point of arm wrestling then? Like
you're very right.
The best losses are your best wins. Like you're
Yeah.
going to take these losses and then, you know, you're going to learn from it and stuff. And so don't be afraid to lose, man. I lose all the time. Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
No, I think you nailed it on the head, man. I think all of us at some point in our career or journey deal with this. When do I take the next step? Am I strong enough to take the next step? Do I believe in myself enough to compete with names that I know, you know? And I think one of the greatest examples is good old Edo. You know, he just dove in and goes, I'm not going backwards anymore. Even if I take some lumps, it's okay. And it's such an important mindset to have going forward, and it makes you better. This will be a lifetime opportunity, I think, for a lot of people. And I hope that especially these Arizona guys reel it in and take advantage of that, just because, like you said, I mean, the experiences that I got from last year alone outside the tournament were things I'll never forget. Like you said, side table, just chopping it up with people, whatever it may be. But we all live for that. We all really thrive when we see these events and these people enjoying themselves on YouTube, when it's just shooting the shit, party, that kind of thing. But you have the opportunity to learn from the greatest. It's like some of the greatest coming, you know. For me, I'm really excited to learn from this Latvian ref and some of these guys, you know what I mean? And see some of the things that they see that, you know, that I see differently. So
yeah, I mean, me and him, we always pick each other's brains all the time. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are, there's still something to be learned. Like
always.
you can always learn. And you know, there's also guys coming to this thing, they're like I mean, I don't know. I have a super match 2 weeks later, so I'm not, but like Bob Brown is a type of guy who's like, well, I usually practice, you know, a week in advance of a super match hard. So he goes, I'm just going to come and treat this as my last practice before a super match.
Yeah.
Literally flying down the pole. I mean, you got Dallas Langston's driving over. He's like, I'm going to take this 198 class. And I was like, this 198 class is going to be one of the biggest that we've seen.
Rattle off some names for us.
Dallas Langston, Coach Ray, Artem Taranenko, Adam Rosinski, Chad Silvers.
Oh my God.
Bob Brown, Adam Wilmot.
Oh,
I mean, and the guys in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Bobby Fast.
I think Mika's too heavy for that weight class now, right?
Mika is not coming, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
He would have been in that class. Yeah, he would have made that class.
Damn. Yeah, that is a sick class, bro. That is, you're right. Yeah, that is in itself.
It's insane. And it's gonna be fun to watch, and it's not gonna be fun to separate them in the two bracket system.
Yeah, you definitely have your hands full with this new format. But I was going to say earlier, not that you're doing it for this reason, but you could definitely be setting a new trend, man. You could definitely start to see this in newer tournaments. And like you said, everyone's a promoter now. So someone tries to kind of give you some credit and copy your format, that's only going to mean good things. And especially if it goes really well, especially if it kicks ass and if I think what's most important is the competitors enjoy it. And then secondly, obviously that the viewers, and it's easy to understand, enjoy it. But that's basically, you need it.
I think it's good for bigger tournaments like states, regionals, stuff like that. I think a place that would do really well with this would be like Texas.
Yeah.
For like their states and stuff like that. It's if you have like if you want to change up the finals, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
These people have never pulled throughout the day.
Right.
If you do it a normal way, they could have faced each other and one drops down to the B bracket, wins that, and then they're in the finals, and then you have to double dip again.
Yeah.
This is like you win your side, you win your side. It's a clean slate. Best 2 out of 3. Best man wins.
People are going to be so hyped to watch those matches too.
Yeah, and so we got like I think we're doing like a 2-hour break before the finals to set up the stage, and then we'll have a flyer already made with all the super matches per se.
Wow.
And we're just that's when we're all gonna blast it so everybody knows,
Yeah.
Everybody can still buy the pay-per-view when we set it up, knowing that it's still going to be a badass finals.
Right.
But just solidify it that last 2 hours. I think with the way it's going to end up, there's going to be a lot of badass matches that people want to see, and maybe people wanted to see them as a super match anyways.
You're right.
And so I think we're going to end up with wars that we didn't know, because these people are now entering the tournament.
Yeah.
Rather than just coming to pull a super match and everybody watching them. You're getting the best of both worlds. So, if you're a guy out there that's always wanted to pull Coach Ray, show up.
Yeah. Maybe and there's going to be so many people too.
I mean, if you've always wanted to just feel Saunders, show up and pull.
Yeah.
And if you're a guy that thinks, there's no way I can win, treat it as a practice. You'll drop $20 in gas and $20 in beer and whatever to go to a practice. What's $50 to pull Saunders?
Well worth it.
I mean, it's there. The opportunities are there. So
speaking of opportunity, we all cannot thank you enough for this opportunity and bringing this to our backyard. I mean, I personally think, and I'm talked to a lot of other people about it, going to be the biggest tournament of the year. The talent is like second to none as far as tournaments that you've ever seen. Just the 198 class that you named alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's without any other surprises showing up. And I think we're going to have some other surprises show up.
I do too.
Just to not say that they're going to come, but just say that they want to crack at it, but they don't want people to know that they're coming.
No, you're right. No, you're totally right. Any last minute shout outs? We'll end it right here at 30 minutes, but anybody you want to give a shout out to or a big thanks to or anything like that?
Just my ArmSports Entertainment team. We have a great team. We have a great thing going on, and it takes a lot of people to do it. There's like 8 or 9 of us that I have.
Yeah.
And, as long as we stick together, I think the skies are the limit.
For sure, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us and letting us know all the ins and outs, the updates and everything. We are 12 days away. So I think for most people, it's rest up and heal time. You know what I mean? And
get your mind right, get your weight right.
Yeah, exactly. But all right. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you, brother, very much.
Talk soon.
All right, y'all. You heard it from the man himself. I mean, we cannot wait for this opportunity. And, I think if you ever had an inclination of making a Arizona tournament, this is the one to make. This is the one to go to for sure, based off of not only who else is coming, but this is as big as it gets. So thanks to everybody that tuned in. Go ahead and share this video on your Facebook, please, if you could, so that everybody knows anything and everything about Arizona State. And if they have any questions, they can feel free to DM me, Tim Tallmadge, Lewis Horvath, or anybody at ArmSports Entertainment. But I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on the 15th, baby. Let's go!